Everyone, welcome back to my channel. I just wanted to get on here and say hello and thank you for watching this video. I'm pretty excited. We're going to make these very adorable Christmas shakers, winter Christmas. Yeah. I'm still doing Christmas because I think it's fun. And there we go. Try to get that to focus. It's really pretty with some glitter and the white. Did some ink blending, some embossing there. The back does say to from so that you could use it like a tag. So I'm going to do a little bit of this throughout the year, Christmassy stuff, because I love Christmas and it's my channel and that's what I want to do. So I'm going to try to do one Christmas project a month, maybe more, maybe less. We'll just see. I'm going to do what I choose, it kind of whatever drives me and how I'm feeling. But this was really fun. It's still very wintry. So I thought that was really fun. So that's what we're going to do today. And then I will take you down to the table here in a few minutes and show you the products that we're going to use. All right, and here we are at the table. These are the cute little snow globe shaker tags that we're going to make. And then I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I'm going to use to make them today. So I have 3 different distressed oxides. We've got Tumbled Glass, Salty Ocean, and Stormy Sky that I use to make the background of the tag. I've got this from Glitter Heart Co. It's called Winter Wonderland, and it's this beautiful chunky glitter with snowflakes in there, and oh, it's so pretty. It's really pretty. I dumped almost this whole jar on the floor, and I swept it up, and I put it back in here, and you will see some random weirdness in here because it was on my floor, but I wasn't wasting it because it was so pretty. This is the cording that I had. This is just from, I don't know. I think this was Hobby Lobby cord. I'm pretty sure. Oh yeah, it is. I was just at Hobby Lobby and this is their little brand. I don't love it for some of the other things that I make, but for this, I just thought it looked really pretty. And then for stamps, I have some that I don't know where they came from. Really, I'm sure we could find, I can find an equivalent of little tiny houses. I have a little, see, like this is a set I have that I've never even used, but these were a little bit too big for that. This, I think, is a set, 2 different sets mixed together. So I had cut a bunch here and just kind of tried to decide what I was going to pick. And I think this was the house that I ended up going with. I liked that one. But they're all really cute. So there's lots to do there. I don't know who makes that one. I'm sorry. This was the Christmas Cloche. Well, it's a Cloche, winter Cloche, I think is what these are called. I used the tree. I used this part and I used this part. I used something different for this, for the snow in here. Oh yeah, I don't have those. Those were actually Lawn Fawn's stitched Hillside is what I used for the snow in here. Just because this one was really big. I did a sample and it just was really big. So I didn't like it. For the little top here, I used these. These are Simon Says Stamp Ornament Tag Dies. And I just threw my paper in and just cut the top of this is what I did. I really like these tag dies a lot. And they're super cute. And that's what I did for those. And then for the words and the to and from on the back, I used Lawn Fawn. I used, okay, there's a lot of stuff happening in my house. There's some football happening, so it's really exciting in the other room. There is some lawn, I use these Lawn Fawn, I don't know what these are, but they're really cute. Oh, tiny tag sayings. So I got these over Christmas, and I really like them. There are all sorts of little tiny tags because I thought they were cute. And then the Pretty Pink Posh little, I don't know, there's a name for these. They have them for every season. I just got the Valentine ones, And I got the Halloween ones. I got the fall ones for Christmas. I love them. They're so cute and they're perfect. They fit with these other really cute tag or sentiment strips that I have, which I think are also from Pretty Pink Posh, because they make them to go with that. Anyway, I just really love them. So those were all the tools that I used, besides the big ones like my Spellbinders. I have a Spellbinders Platinum 6. I use this little small guy sometimes, and then just some of the other randoms. But these were the actual products I use to create these. So, all right. So we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so I went ahead and pre-die cut most of the pieces that I was going to need here. Instead of using foam tape, I actually just cut multiples of the cloche outline or outside of the die, whatever that's called. Yeah. And cut multiples of those so that I could build up my dimension that way, because it was really thin, and trying to get a piece of foam strip and then things to not cling to it, it was going to be a little too challenging for me. So I didn't do it that way. I did it this way, and I actually really like that. I mean, who doesn't have 5 million pieces of white paper, right? Well, I know I do. I have a really big drawer of white scrap paper, and this kind of stuff is exactly what I should use it for. And I'm going to begin doing that instead of using foam tape, just using all of this paper that I have and just using that to build my dimension. So anyway, this worked out really well. I maybe could have picked a few more layers. I don't know. I mean, I think they shake pretty well actually, so it's not too bad. But maybe a couple more. So I think I did 3 or 4. I've already lost count as I'm rewatching this video, but that's okay. So I'm just continuing to glue my layers together here. And yep, see, there goes another one. I think I've done one, and this is working on my second one. So in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have done them all blue, because I didn't get everything lined up like I would have preferred. It's not easy, even though I use my tweezers. That's like my go-to. I like squeeze my not my reverse tweezers, but my regular tweezers, and I squeeze them together, and that works really well. But I was still a little off, and you can kind of see the white underneath. And you also have to be careful when you're actually cutting out too. Like if there's an inside piece to the die, and if you move that at all in the cutting process, it's going to be a little off. And that actually could very well have been what happened. So in hindsight, I kind of wish I would have shown that so that you could see what you need to do. Maybe I'll throw a picture on here so that you can see that there's 2 pieces to the die and you cut them together. And then to create the back, which you see, in the corner here, that is, that's without the centerpiece. So anyway, lessons, things you learn. You'll also see up there in the corner, I made like a prototype. I did it all in white just to kind of see what things would look like. I couldn't decide what kind of snow I wanted. I didn't like the snow that came with the Cloche die set that I have. So I did use my Lawn Fawn stitched Hillside for my snow, and I like that a lot better. So it's really cute. You can see I've got my little tag toppers up there. Used the top of a different set there. So now I've got my waffle flower grip mat out, and we're going to start ink blending. So I'm using my 3 different colors, and I'm grabbing a blending brush, my blending brushes, so getting myself all set up there. And we're just going to do it. It's supposed to look like a wintry type of sky, right? That's the idea. So I think we start out with tumbled glass. I think that's right. Yes. Tumbled glass. And I just clean my brush off on a paper towel. So I learned that from one of my favorite YouTubers, Kathy Zilski. So I never wash these brushes, and she uses her paper towel, and she just she just rubs it on there. So I just grab a piece of paper towel because mine's on a roller on my little cart, and I just rub that on there, and just to get whatever excess is on there. So it works out just fine. And that is perfect. So, and then now I'm using, and then we'll do the second one. Yep. Tap off a little bit. So depending on the color you're using, some come in stronger than others. So you want to tap off a little bit, and then you can always pick back up. So that's what I'm doing here is I tapped off, but then I decided to pick some back up as I had laid some of the ink down and it wasn't on my brush anymore. So I really, that works out really well. Some come in real hot and some don't, so it's always good to start safe and tap off a little bit. You saw me looking at my glitter snow, the silver. I was originally going to use silver, and that would have been really pretty, but I ended up using a white glitter. It kind of gets hidden behind the sequins, or the glitter sequins that I used. However, I still like it better. So switching colors here and going into my next color. I'm just using the same brush. I do rub off a little bit there, so that's okay. So this one is, gosh darn it, is this the Stormy Sky? This looks like Stormy Sky. Yep, it's Stormy Sky. Then I used Salty Ocean after that. That's right. So I did a little Stormy Sky, kind of like the heavy snow layer of the clouds, maybe. I don't know. And then tapping off a little bit. So yeah, that's a real good tip, I think. You just don't know. You can always put more on, but you can't take it off. So start low or start small or light, I guess. The other thing, as I'm getting better at my ink blending, is to use a lighter hand, so not quite so heavy. The other thing I've learned along the way is that when things dry back, they look quite a bit different. So even when you might see something and you're like, oh gosh, after it dries back, you'd be amazed at how things blend together. So, not stressing so much about it, I guess. So this is Salty Ocean. This one comes in a little hot. So see how I did that start. And then here I'm starting at the top, and I'm going to come down into my other colors. So I don't know if that matters, but that's just the way I wanted to do it. Just trying to blend things in there. So I think it turned out good. I really like it. As I'm looking at it now on my little birch tree I have in my office, those colors look great together, and they dried back really nicely. So yeah. So yep, tapping off. I probably could have just used the excess that I had there, but that's okay. And then, this glass mat, the glass mats I have are from Hobby Lobby. I think I might have one from Michael's too. And the ones from Hobby Lobby are really cheap. They're not magnetic, but you know what? I don't know that I would really use it that often. I mean, maybe, but for the price, it's a much better deal. So for now, until I'm a professional, this is what we've got. And you'll notice I didn't color in the bottom because there's going to be something over that. So it doesn't really matter, and you don't need to color in the bottom. So cleaning off my grip mat here, and then we'll put those away. I usually wash those about once a week. So I went ahead and I used the same die cut to cut some acetate. So it doesn't cut all the way through on my machine, but you know what? It's fine. So I just used my scissors and I snipped off the pieces that didn't cut all the way through. It's just it's just going over the top, and there's going to be something over it anyway, like another layer, an outline. Yeah, not an outline. Another layer, the navy blue layer is going to be over the top of it anyway. So it'll be framed. That's the word I'm looking for. So I get those cut off there. So this acetate is just from Michael's. I recently just got a new package of it that is smaller sheets that are already cut. I'm kind of anxious to try it because I'm hoping it'll be a little clearer. I don't feel like what I have is very clear. I mean, I think it's fine, but I just don't feel like it's very clear. So we'll see. Uh-oh. So, all right. I'm over here making a mess. So here I am. I'm going to take, this is the frame, the outside frame of my tag. And I put some of my Barely Art glue on there. And then I am going to place my acetate on it and get that glued in place. So I had a little trouble lining this up as well. And none of it just, I felt like nothing was exactly straight. So, you know, that's just the way it goes, I guess. So, it'll be fine. So getting that glued on, and I put my brick over the top of it just to kind of help it, just to get it to adhere. So, yeah. And then I still got that silver up top, thinking that's the color I'm going to use. But in the end, it is not the color that I use. So, all right. And then here we're going to do the second one. Get that all glued on. And this glue, it seems to hold really well. I'm not seeing any lifting or anything. And at the time of this voiceover, it's weeks later, actually. So I've had this video done for quite some time, but I had some technical difficulties with my other software. So I tried a new one and I put some new videos out in between. And so now I'm coming back to this one. I wanted to get it out before it really wasn't winter. We just had what I think is our last snow here in Pennsylvania, just a week or two ago. So I think it's done. We're going to be in the 60s this week. I don't know if that'll hold, but it's going to be quite a bit warmer, so that'll be nice. So I thought it would be nice to get my last little snowy one, even though I am probably going to do Christmas things throughout the year. I just got some adorable snowman ones. Snowman dies from Bluebird, I think they're called. Hello Bluebird. And I got, they'll be really cute. I'm anxious to try something with those. So I think that'll be really fun. So more to come. I love the Christmas stuff. So look, so those turned out all right. And then I had to do a little trimming. Sorry that the trimming is off camera. But you know, that's just what happened, I guess. So, but I'm just trimming it up a little bit. It wasn't perfect. But you know, you learn every time you do these things. So yeah. So, but it's looking pretty good so far. All right, here we are continuing on, and I am trying to figure out what the snow is going to look like. And, you know, if I wanted to use that color of snow, I think I have the white glitter. I had a couple different ones. I think over there to the left, you can see that I've got silver snow. That was my original. And then I have this white glitter paper, and it's a little bit holographic. And I decided that I really liked that, and I wanted to use that because it kind of goes with the glitter. Actually, the glitter has a little bit of holographic to it. Turns out really nice. So, and then I did my little house and my tree in white. I just like that kind of monochromatic. So this is the glitter I'm going to use. It's called Winter Wonderland from Glitter Heart Co. Funny story about this glitter is that when I think it was when I was doing this one, I dumped it all over the floor, like everywhere. Such a mess. And it's such pretty glitter. I wasn't going to waste it. So I scooped it up in a dustpan. I cleaned the dustpan. I scooped it up in my dustpan, or I think I might have used a piece of paper. I don't know. And I put it back in the bottle. Like, I wasn't going to waste that stuff. Absolutely not. So anyway, I did. And what's really funny is that when you look at these snow globe shakers, there's a couple of randoms in there. Like, there is a round piece that is not part of the glitter. So it's just really funny. So anyway, but I wasn't wasting it, and it's fine. It's totally fine. Dirt specks, who cares? Whatever. It still looks really good, and nobody but me would ever know. And now all of you know, because here I am telling you. So I went ahead and kind of measured what my snow was going to look like. That bottom piece doesn't matter that it's not straight across because that's all going to be covered up by the top of my snow globe shaker with the navy. And just using my Barely Arts glitter, or excuse me, my Barely Arts glue to get that in place and get that on there. So it does, I really like this better than the silver. I think it all would have looked fine, you know. You really just got to do what you want to do. That's what it's all about. How do you want your shaker to look, and what do you want? I really liked the white house and the white tree with the white glitter and just the blue, very kind of, I don't know, it's not really monochromatic, but simple and clean looking, you know, with just that navy cardstock on top. I just really liked that. So I love the look at it. It's really pretty. I'm actually sitting here staring at them hanging from my birch tree as we speak. So yeah, so just getting things placed. So I did need to put my other layers kind of on here so that you can, or so that I could determine where my house and my tree and stuff needed to be. So these are the layers that built up the well in my shaker to put the glitter on. So I don't know that I mentioned it before, but I think I did 4 or 5 layers. So you could do it a couple different ways. You could cut heavier cardstock so it's a little bit thicker. I don't think I did. I was just using scraps. You could cut just many of a regular kind of cardstock and glue them together, which is what I did. You can also use foam tape. So you can see that that's very thin. That snow globe edge there is really thin. And I just was afraid the foam tape would, I do have thin foam tape, excuse me, but I was just afraid that it would you'd see it. So I went with the paper, and you know, who doesn't have 5 million scraps of white paper? Well, I do, because I make a lot of different kinds of white paper projects. So I'm always using some 65-pound, you know, card stock that I get at Walmart. And so I have a ton of that stuff in my little scrap drawer. So anyway, that's the way I did it. Now, I think I'm going to do more of that so that I don't have to buy as much foam tape, but foam strips and that kind of thing. Might as well use what I have, right? So I went ahead and I glued things on. I glued my house and my tree. And then here I am putting the glitter in my little triangle tray so that I could get it in there and not make a giant mess. That's what I was going for. But before I go ahead and glue it in there, I wanted to make sure that I had some snowflakes up always, you know, before, or always in the sky, right? So you use the shaker, of course, and it shakes all around, but when it's just sitting there, everything is kind of at the bottom. And so I wanted a few snowflakes up the top so it would catch your eye and catch that, because they are holographic, so it's really pretty. So that's what I'm doing, just kind of figuring out my placement. I'm using my little pick and place tool. I have 2. I have one from Gina K Designs, one from Trinity Stamps. I love them. They're really great. So one of the very first things I bought when I started stamping and die cutting again, because it's just really nice. So just using my Barely Arts glue to get those larger snowflake glitter pieces down. And then I set it aside because I really want it to dry. I don't want my other, the glitter that I'm going to place in the well to stick to anything. So it does need to dry for a little bit. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm putting things away. You know, I'm always trying to clean as I go. I feel like that's pretty important. And now things should be dry. Oh, here's where so these, no, is that what I'm going to do here? Hard to say. Nope, I'm putting I'm putting my glitter in. So it's dry. Obviously, I've waited a little bit. So I went ahead and poured my glitter in. In one of these, I went a little crazy and I poured a lot of glitter in. In one, it's pretty decent amount. So one has so much glitter that you can't really see the snow at the bottom. But you know what? It's pretty and it's fine. See how holographic? It's got like a pink color and then it's got a little bit of a blue color, depending on, where you're looking. So, and then we're going to go ahead and glue the top on this. This is my navy cardstock top, and then I've got some acetate on there, and we had already pre-cut that, and I trimmed it with my scissors too, because it just wasn't a clean cut. So yeah, so anyway, getting that glued on. There we go. So getting this lined up wasn't as easy as I would have thought. So in hindsight, if I didn't have a whole bunch of white paper to use, it might have been really nice to actually use a navy so then you wouldn't notice if it didn't line up right. So that's something to think about, but it still looks fine. I think it's okay. It's just, so one of the things, the way you create the snow globe with the, so it has an opening in it, it's two pieces, it's two dies, right? And so you have to make sure that for all of them that you're cutting, those two dies stay in the same place. If they don't, then you run the risk of it being off a little bit. And so one of your edges might be thicker than the other edge. And so I think that's part of what happened. Also, partly that I didn't line it up when I was gluing it, So, does it really matter? No, it's totally fine. I think it looks just fine. And I don't know if anybody would know, except for all of you, because I just told you. So there you go. But lessons learned, things to think about, make sure you get those I use a mint tape from scrapbook.com, but there's all sorts of low tack tapes that you can get. And that's what I tape the dies together so that you can, so that they're in the same spot for as many iterations of die cutting as I need. And that way they're all the same. I just did a new one actually that I'm going to be working on, and I learned a lot from this particular one and some other shakers that I've made. So I'm getting better at it. That's the whole thing. It's practice makes perfect, right? So anyway, we're just going through the same process as I did before on the other one, getting the house and the tree set. So now here's my shaker. Look at how cute. And I'm testing it out, making sure that everything shakes the way it's supposed to. And it does. It's so cute. I just think that's really adorable. I do really like it. Super cute. Super, super cute. So things kind of stuck in there, but it works out just fine. So these are little tag toppers. So this actually is a set that I have that actually is connected to a bottom. But I just cut the top. So I just didn't put paper past that one part because I really like the top on this one. And I did a double because I need it to be stronger, right? Because we're going to be putting a cord through it and we're going to hang it from a tree. And, who knows, is somebody going to hang on it? And they won't hang on it. But you know what I mean. I mean, who knows how rough they're going to be played with or touched or whatever. So here was me trying to decide what exactly I wanted to do with the bottom. As with any project, I go in with a specific idea, but a general. You saw my sketch, right? But then I changed my mind. Like that happens almost every single time, and that is totally okay. So I didn't like the white on there. I just didn't think that looked good. So here I am using some dies that I have. So first of all, I'm going to get my things glued on, but I was checking out to see what dies I wanted to use on the bottom, and we'll be doing that here shortly. And we'll getting that embossed. So here is my phone ringing while I'm doing some working. yeah, so I just glue it on. Now, see, that looks all ugly back there, right? But I'm going to put another back on it. So that's the whole idea. Do you see the back? That's what I'm going to do. Now, later on, you're going to see me. How I need to emboss the back. I should have done the embossing or stamping or whatever I was going to do to the back before I glued it on the back of my shaker. And I didn't, and that's okay. We end up fixing it. It's totally fine. Everything can be fixed. And you know what? It's only paper. So just remember that when you're creating something, it's only paper and you can just redo it or try again or, try something different. It's no big deal. Or walk away from it. That's basically my favorite advice is sometimes I get kind of like I'm feeling pretty inspired and I get to a certain point and then I'm like, I need to walk away from this. And I go sleep on it or I go watch a couple craft videos and somebody else inspires me and I get a really good idea. So, and that really helps. And then I try to sketch or capture whatever it is that I had found or whatever so I don't forget it the next day because, that could happen. But so yeah, so we're putting the back on here. Again, in hindsight, should have done my stamping and my embossing before I glued it on. Totally fine though. But you can see how it cleans or it covers up the ugly part of the tag topper there. Nobody would ever know. It's like it's supposed to be there. It's like it all was meant to be. It was a little off. I'm sorry that I'm off camera. Story of my life, getting used to all this. It was a little not exactly straight, so or centered, so I had to play with it. All right, so now we're just working on the second one. Here are my stacked dies, and they're already glued together. So we're going to get these put on and glued on because here again, we're creating the well for our shaker. I just used paper instead of using foam tape. And for this, it worked better just because it was just so thin, right? So just now I'm just kind of hanging out and waiting. Yeah. So it's looking pretty good so far. I'm excited. Yeah. I like this. These are good. I like tags. I really like snow globes. I just got a new, I'm excited. I got a new snow globe embossing folder that I am dying to try. It comes tomorrow. I am probably going to do a haul video tomorrow, little bonus because I am getting a few things in the mail or maybe Sunday. So I'll show everybody what I got. So I got some new things to try and I'm pretty excited about it. So getting my little white house and my white tree glued in place where I wanted them. I cut a bunch of houses. I had originally wanted to use something different. But that was just the right house and I love the tree. I like how the tree looks like the wind is blowing it. I just thought it was cute. So here, doing the same thing I did before, I'm going to get some snowflakes glued on up at the top there. Yep, so that there are always some snowflakes in the sky, even when the glitter is settled down at the bottom of the tag. So just putting things in the right place. I really like how that glitter catches the light and it's either a blue or a pink. I think it turned out really pretty. I do really like that. It's a fun glitter. That one's from Glitter Heart Co. I have a lot of glitter. You guys, I haven't probably shown my glitter wall, but I have a glitter wall. And it's really a wall of glitter. Let me say it that way. And it's really pretty. In addition to making cards, I do some other things too. I make epoxy tumblers and epoxy pens and many different epoxy crafts. And most of them require glitter. I do sublimation. I make freshies. I do all sorts of different crafts. So far on this channel, I've only got cards on here because that's just my current passion. I'm really enjoying making cards and tags. But I'll change throughout the year. I've got some shows coming up and I tend to do a lot of freshies. Freshies are a big one for that. So we'll definitely be doing some freshie videos. And then I'm going to make a few new cups too. So not too many. I actually have quite a few tumblers still that that haven't sold. So I might actually do a sale this year. Is what I'm thinking, so that I can get rid of some of my old inventory, and then that way I can make some new stuff. So and get, so I just don't like things sitting around. So anyway, yes. So there we go. I was playing with the shaker again. It's so fun. Shakers are the best. They're so much fun. So here I am. I was gluing on my snowflakes, and I needed it to dry like we did with the last one. I probably should have done all this kind of consecutively, or excuse me, that's not the right word, but at the same time, so that I could save time. But I didn't, and it's fine. So I have all the time in the world. It's totally fine. So here I was trying to decide what to put on the bottom. I have these very cute sentiment strip dies from Pretty Pink Posh, and I love them. I want them for every season. I have another one coming tomorrow that is just regular. I forget what it's called. I'll let you know when I do my haul video. But it's just like regular sentiments. But I have a fall one, a Halloween one, a Christmas one, a Valentine's one. I need a St. Patrick's Day one. But anyway, I need some others. But I really like them because they have some really cute sentiment die cuts that go with them. And there's 3 different kinds, and I just love it. So here I am. They're both created. So I've got the glitter in them. They're shaking. They're looking so good. I've got the tops on both of them. So just did it the same as I showed you on the first one. I didn't show you on the second one. It's just trying to clear things up. So now we're going to work on the bottom of our snow globe, because our snow globe needs something at the bottom. So I went with Let It Snow, because it's a snowy snow globe. I mean, I feel like that's good. So here's the thing. Didn't catch it on video. I didn't have a camera over there. But what I did is I used 2 different kinds of embossing powder, both made by Wow. One is a puff white embossing powder, and the other one is like an opaque fine detail white. I did use the powder, anti-static powder. That's what I'm doing, is buffing off the anti-static powder, because, it shows up on that dark cardstock. But I did not like the puff. I saw someone use it, and I thought, that is really cool. I was thinking it would look like snow, but it looked kind of weird. I didn't love it. I mean, it's not a terrible tag by it. It's not terrible, but I like the fine, opaque white, fine detail much better. It's much better. So, but in any case, they're very cute. Ooh, excuse me, yawning. So very, very, very cute. So now I need to stamp on the back. And I have a very cute 2 from, it is from Lawn Fawn. I got it over Christmas when I was making some Christmas tags. And I typically keep the 2 from just on a little tiny square block, and I move it, in, wherever it needs to be, so it fits my tag properly. But it's just easier than using the Misty. However, in this case, I wanted to use the Misty to hold it. So I thought it was a wonderful idea. But you'll see that I don't use it for both of them, and you'll see why in a second. So I'm going to use VersaFine Clair Nocturne, I believe. So it's a really deep, rich, inky black. This is the best ink. It's so inky. I love it so much. So I'm going to use my little block. It's got my 2 from, and I'm just going to get it, now I'm not a fan of free range stamping, but it makes sense in some cases. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just free ranging it. So here's what happened. That I have a waffle flower grip mat in there, and it's stuck to my acetate like really bad, and I was afraid it was going to come off, and I was like, ooh, I'm not going to do that again. So we're like, yeah, we'll just do it this way this time. So same thing. is, oh, and you can see up at the top, I got some ink on there. So that's, I got my little sand eraser. That's what that is. I got that sand eraser. They have them at craft stores like Michael's, usually in the drawing section. I think I might have bought mine on Amazon. I'm not sure. I'm going to attempt to get that ink piece off of there. Turns out that I don't do a very good job and I end up replacing it. But on this one, the ink turned out really nice. It looks really good. I like the way it looks. So, yeah. So, and then I, always cleaning my stamp. So this is the scrubbing block that's from Hero Arts. And then the stamp cleaner is from Ranger. I just bought it at Hobby Lobby and I just spray a little bit on there. This is really nice to clean my little intricate stamps. I really like it. And what's really cool about it is that little piece that's on there that I'm, using to scrub, it Velcros on so you can, rip it off and wash it. And I was like, oh, that's great. I really do like it. So it helps. And if, getting stamps stain, they totally do. But, but it does really help. So this is me going, yeah, I couldn't get the sand eraser to work. I really can't handle that. I'm going to go ahead and do it the right way. So I'm stamping before I'm gluing it on. Now this ink does need to sit and dry for a little bit. So you do have to spend the time on it, but see, if I would have done that to begin with, wouldn't have been a big deal. But I didn't, and that's okay. So that time I just cleaned using a baby wipe. Oh, no, I didn't. I went ahead and brought the block out because I wasn't that far. It was still wet from the other cleaner. So, all right. So that's going to get dry and then we'll get that, we will get that glued on. So, okay, so everything should be dry. So we're going to go ahead and get that glued on in place. And you would never know that I made a mistake. So it's just one more piece of, I'm pretty sure I used scrap white paper. I didn't really need anything else, which was totally fine. So yeah, so who knew, nobody would ever know. So it's just paper. You can make it work, that's the thing. You can just redo it. It's totally fine. So trying to get it all lined up. I think I said this earlier. I think things were off. Maybe I was off. It's hard to say. It takes a little practice. So, and that's okay. So now just using my clear acrylic block to kind of hold things down and get them tight. Make sure you put your pin back in your bottle. Really important. And, we're pretty much okay, so now we are to the end. So now I'm just going to string these through. I'm going to use, this is some cording I had gotten the Christmas before last, actually, from Hobby Lobby. I was too late to get it this year. I use it for sometimes I was using it for some ornaments I make with epoxy, but I just didn't love it for that. But for this, it turned out really cute. So I just really love the way they look. They turned out so good. I hope you guys really like them. I think fun shaker snow globe tags, because this could be on a big present. It says to from, and it's something they could hang on their tree after. That's, just a little keepsake. It's something fun. In any case, I really like making them. So I'm just going to continue to do that because I love making tags. It's my new favorite thing. So I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. If you have questions, feel free to leave them in the comments. Please do like my video, share, and then subscribe for the next time I post a video. I really look forward to sharing all sorts of things, not just cards, but other things as well. Right now, you'll see a lot of cards because that's just I'm in the season of paper right now, so we'll do other things later. So I look forward to making another card with you soon. So yeah, so let me know if there's something you want to see. I look forward to it. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.